Hi, I'm Nikita, and I'm here with Rowan. We are on the business messaging team. It is so great to be here with all of you at Conversations 2022. With more than 1 billion users connecting to a business account through messaging service that Meta provides, Messenger is a great way for people to interact with their favorite businesses. Earlier today, you heard that recurring notification is now globally available on the Messenger platform. Recurring notification is a powerful, new type of business initiated messaging where businesses can proactively message opted in customers on topics for a set frequency. For example, a retailer can send weekly promotional notifications, or a publisher can notify readers of the trending articles of the day. We are going to share with you how to build a great experience on recurring notifications to help drive more engagement and results from your customers.
Hi, I'm Rowan. First, we will share the foundational design principles and the core features of recurring notifications. Then, we will outline the building block components you can leverage to create an end-to-end recurring notifications experience. We will then dive into how to get customer opt-ins from several channels, which we call entry points, to create an opt-in experience most relevant to common recurring notifications use cases. We will then end the session highlighting the best practices we recommend to the developers during the development of this feature.
Let's begin with design principles. We build this feature along three design principles, which we call the three C's. As you start building your notifications, these principles can guide you to create resonant experiences while keeping your customers in mind. The first C is comprehension. Businesses should provide clear context in the form of a topic title to people on what they're opting in to receive. Our platform will provide this title every time a recurring notification is sent. The second C is consent. We want to make sure people are aware about what they're opting into, which is why opt ins must be obtained before recurring notifications are sent. The third C is control. People have complete control to manage the notifications, such as mute, block, or report, or opt out at any time. Throughout this session, we will be using the fictional business called Original Coast Clothing. Now let us move on to the core features which are based on the design principles we just went through. There are four core features for recurring notification. The first one is frequency, which allows a business to determine the frequency at which notifications are sent to customers. It could be daily, weekly, or monthly. In this example, you will see get weekly messages. Businesses set a topic title of their choosing. This will be shown to customers deciding to opt in. The next feature is in-thread text. This provides context to customers on why they're receiving the specific notification. This text is always coupled with recurring messages. The last feature is customer controls. Customers have access to controls such as stop, resume, mute, report at any time in the thread. Now, Rowan will help explain the building blocks of recurring notifications.
Thanks, Nikita. In this section, we will walk you through the main four building blocks of recurring notifications. First, let's talk about the opt-in template. The opt-in template is a message that the developers use to get an opt-in from the user for the topic and the frequency they have selected. As you can see from this example, the business sends an opt-in template regarding a new product launch that the user might be interested in. The API call for this template is built into the Messenger Send API that most developers are already familiar with. As you can see in this example, you can customize the title of your topic, the image URL, the developer-defined payload, and the frequency. The API offers three types of frequencies: daily, weekly, and monthly. For the daily frequency, the business can send daily notifications for a span of 6 months. For a weekly frequency, the business can send a weekly notification for a span of 9 months. For a monthly frequency, the business can send a monthly notification for a span of 1 year. Upon a successful API call, the business will receive the opt-in template with which they can interact and engage. Business can also choose to send multiple opt-in templates, each for different topics, to a particular user. Now, let's move on to the second building block, the user opt-in webhook. For this example, we have chosen the weekly cadence. For the user opt-in flow, the user clicks on Get Weekly Messages to notify the business that they are interested in this particular topic. When the user taps Get Weekly Messages, Meta sends the app connected to a page an opt-in webhook notifying the business of the user opt-in action. The opt-in webhook will contain information that will help the developers identify the topic that the user opted in for. Now, let's take a deeper look into what information developers can find in the webhook. In the opt-in field in the webhook is where you'll find all the information regarding the user opt-in. The webhook will contain the notification messages template type, the payload that the developer had defined during the API call, the frequency for the recurring notification, the expiration timestamp for the token, and the most important field, the token itself. In this next section, Nikita will cover how to use the token to send recurring notifications to end-to-end users.
Thanks, Rohan. That was a very thorough explanation of the first two building blocks. Now let's talk about how you can start sending recurring notification. As we saw from the last building block, once you have the notification message token from the webhook, businesses can now proactively reach out to users to message them regarding the topic they opted in for. In the API call to send recurring notification, you must add the token you received from the webhook in the recipient field of the send API. In this example, we notify the user about the upcoming product using a standard message and the notification token. You don't have to use only standard messaging to send a recurring message. You could use any of the rich messaging features of Send API like button template, generic template, media template, and others to enhance the notification. Now we come to one of the most important building blocks, how users can manage their experiences. We have built this product keeping the customer experience front and center. The user gets in-thread context immediately upon opt-in and always with recurring messages. Anytime the user wants to opt out, they tap Manage, where they can either stop the notification, which will block businesses from sending more messages on the topic. They can mute the entire thread as well as report the business if they feel unsafe. The something wrong option can be used to report scams, fraudulent behavior, or irrelevant content. When the user stops or resumes a notification, the app will receive a webhook which will indicate the user's action so the business can handle the user experience better.
So far, we took a look at how to send an opt-in template and the recurring notifications. We can make this feature more powerful by using contextually relevant entry points such as Send to Messenger plugin or Click to Messenger ads to obtain opt-ins. Before we jump into this slide, I want to share a few common use cases that can be powered using recurring notifications. Promotions such as sales alerts or early access discounts. Product alerts such as new product pre-order or back-in-stock order. Content such as tips or newsletters. Events such as pre-sale alerts or event reminders. Sending an opt-in template requires an established conversation between a user and a business. Here, we will discuss a couple of entry points which will help users to start conversations with businesses on Messenger. In doing so, you can create more resonant experiences that can help businesses meet their goals of gaining opt-in, building a customer list, and re-engaging customers. In the first example, we use the Send to Messenger plugin on an artist's website as the entry point to obtain opt-ins for notifications for upcoming concerts. The developers can start by using the Send to Messenger plugin on the artist's website. When a user clicks on it, and if they have already authenticated, then a messaging opt-in webhook is sent to the app with the ref parameter. The app can now use this ref parameter to send an opt-in template of a weekly cadence in this example to the user for the upcoming concerts. The user may be more likely to opt into this message since they have full context on why they received this message. Now, a week later, when the new concert schedule is announced, the user is notified about the upcoming concerts and they can buy the tickets in the thread. Now, let's go to the next example where we talk about private replies to send recurring notifications. In this example, a business is going live to sell their products and they use private replies to reply directly to users who have engaged by commenting during the live session. Here, for example, a user has commented super fan, which will trigger a webhook with the comment ID and the comment text to the app. This will allow the businesses to send an opt-in message for the recurring notifications within 7 days of the user's engagement. As you can see, the comment ID the app received from the webhook can be used directly to send recurring notifications opt-in templates. Nikita will now walk you through the last example.
It is getting very interesting as we dive deeper on how this feature can be combined with the existing capabilities of Messenger to make it more powerful. The last example will walk through how click-to-messenger ads can be used with recurring notification. Businesses can use click-to-messenger ads to start conversation at scale, leveraging meta technologies to help find customers relevant to their business. This is an ad created by a retailer, and the user clicks the message button to interact with the ad. The user chooses to learn about the latest product launches. This will send a webhook to the business, notifying them about the user's interest. Since the business has more context from the option the user selected, they can send the right re-opt-in template asking the users to opt in to future notifications of product launches. We like to share some tips on how to use recurring notification to ensure a great customer experience. The first one is to create high-quality message and experiences. To ensure Messenger is an app that people enjoy using, here are a few things to know about how recurring notification is designed to foster high-quality conversations. Businesses can only send opt-in requests within 24 hours after the user messages the business. Businesses are rate limited for how many opt-in requests they can send to the same user over a short period of time. Businesses are prevented from sending more notifications than what the user opted in for. Notifications are topic-based, so businesses can send multiple opt-in requests to one user if it's for different topics. For example, a business could send an opt-in for weekly message for new product launches, in addition to an opt-in for a monthly sales promo. Businesses with high rate of negative feedback, such as user blocks or reports, will be subject to automated enforcement via Messenger's existing systems. The next one is design a relevant opt-in experience. You can't send a message until a user opts in, making your opt-in experience very critical. Choose the right frequency and the topic title to make your opt-in experience more resonant. Here's a few things you can do to improve your odds of success. Some customers might be hesitant to opt in if they think they will get spammed with too many messages. So choose a frequency that makes the most sense for your client's goals, business, audience, and marketing strategy. The topic, title, and image are the customizable fields of the opt-in message. So choose an image within the opt-in template that represents topic clearly and provides complete context. Finally, create a timely and resonant content that can be sent as a recurring notification to make sure the notifications are worth it. In order to do that, align content across the different stages of the marketing funnel. That's discovery, consideration, conversion, and re-engagement. Integrate recurring notification into your client's existing promotional email and content strategy to ensure alignment while amplifying their overall messaging.
We went through a lot of information here. We started with the 3 C's, the design principles, the core features, the APIs, and the webhooks to enable recurring notifications. We also touched upon the common use cases that can be made more impactful through relevant entry points, and we went through how we can drive more adoption using recurring notifications. You can learn more about this feature by visiting our developer documentations. We are also excited to announce that recurring notifications on Messenger API for Instagram will be available in beta early H2. You can sign up using the link shown on the screen. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn about recurring notifications. We can't wait to see all the awesome experiences we can build together using this amazing feature. Thank you.